Hello, my name is Brian Forbes, and welcome to my AEP 855 Educational Leadership Module 4 video over KESA and my school's place on the KESA rubrics. KESA rubrics cover 4 different categories: relevance, relationships, responsive culture, and rigor. I have actually become very familiar with these rubrics while designing our building survey system in order to accomplish the 0-year task of gathering the staff's opinions on where we currently stand in each category. I was selected and partly volunteered for this in order to accomplish some of the leadership aspects of what we needed to accomplish for our master's program, but also as the building's lead teacher, I felt, partly responsible to gather the type of information we needed from the staff and to represent us accordingly. Another thing I was responsible for is once I collected the information through the surveys was to analyze those results and then determine what our 2 goals should be. But before I could determine that, I also created a voting system that took the lowest scoring areas and allowed the staff to vote on what our 2 goals would be. And then I got together with the building leadership team to ensure that those goals matched the district goals. And then also we created action plans and steps that would lead us to accomplishing those goals within the next 2 years. During the entire process, which took the better part of the last school year to complete, I worked very closely with my principal, Mrs. Hanson. The results of the surveys and the voting showed us both that we were far from being an exemplary school in any of the categories. In fact, we weren't even implementing many of the needed areas to meet KESA criteria. While initially this was alarming to myself, my principal didn't really seem all that surprised. She had explained to me that past administrations didn't have a clear vision that would have allowed us to work towards these goals, but this wasn't the only thing I learned about my principal and her beliefs. While not one of the exact leadership styles we studied in Module 1, my principal displays behaviors of a relational leader. This is similar to a transactional leader, except instead of the transactions being based solely on task completion, the transactions were more about friendships and perceived loyalty and what those relationships gain for one another. Especially in meetings and refraining from the show of any kind of dissent, that type of behavior would have been seen from my principal as negative, and then those types of transactions, if you will, would alter the way my principal approached different individuals in the building. If a relationship is seen as anything but positive, her judgment could become clouded by negative emotions in response to this lack of apparent friendship. So the 2 areas that we identified for improvement in our building were technology and instruction. Both come from the KESA category of relevance. Our district actually identified relationships as another area of need, but we believe that based on the culmination of the building surveys I designed, that these 2 areas would be most beneficial to our specific building and the community we served. We hope to implement measurable administrative goals for utilizing technology in instruction and assessment, and also to incorporate the time and training for teachers to use technology to track student progress and supply greater individual instruction. This is going to allow us to reach the implementing or transitioning in the area of technology relevance. We also hope to start to reach implementing or transitioning status in the area of relevance of instruction by creating content standard alignment on common assessments, consistently posting standards and student-friendly language on assignments, creating a scaffold approach to digital citizenship throughout the building in our approach to technology, and then using our new technology standards to increase the use of technology for personalized learning. Now, these goals align with the PSEL standards for categories 1, 2, and 4. As seen above, multiple PSEL standards apply to the KESA process and the action steps that we have and intend to make in the next 1 to 2 years. Well, this has been my video for Module 4. I thank everybody for watching. I thought this was a really interesting process, even though I did most of the work myself this last year, just kind of being able to speak with my principal to reflect on our accomplishments, what our next steps would be, and then just the overall idea of understanding that it's okay not to be where you want to be as long as you are making the efforts to always get better and to move forward as an organization. Thanks again for watching.